From the time she was a little girl growing up in Guyana, Margery Morgan knew that she wanted to be an educator. By God's grace, that dream became a reality, and she spent more than 40 years as a teacher or principal at several Christian and Seventh-day Adventist schools. This video is a celebration of her ministry and career as a Christian educator. It also marks the beginning of her new journey as a retiree.
I was born on the east coast of Demerara in Guyana, South America. I'm the first of 3 children. 2 of us survived, my brother and I. My brother is Dr. Winston Lawrence, and I am Margery Lawrence Morgan. My mother was Clarabelle Lawrence, and my father, Winston Lawrence. Both of us grew up in a single-parent home after my dad left. I learned the importance of prayer from her because our home was a religious home, and at the age of 15, the Advent message was brought to our area, and my mother became a Seventh-day Adventist. I believe I've always known that I wanted to be a teacher. There was something genetic about it. Both of my grandparents were educators in Guyana. My mother told me that she was being groomed to become an educator. Her father died when she was 12, so her dreams were thwarted. However, she became one of the premier handicraft tutors, so she developed skills in another area. My elementary education was at Golden Grove Methodist School. Secondary, Central High in Georgetown, Guyana. Later, I attended the University of Southern Caribbean, where I did some of my undergrad work. I was an education major. I got my teacher training program was done in Trinidad. And then I returned to Guyana, where I taught school. One was the Ramadan Seventh-day Adventist School. Among the Davis Indians, Guyana government sent me as a missionary up to the hinterland of Guyana. Later, I taught at the Green Street Seventh-day Adventist School in Georgetown, Guyana. Following that, I was assigned to a principalship at the Tacuba Seventh-day Adventist School in Kanji, Berbice, Guyana. Later, I decided to further my education, and I came to Oakwood College, which is now Oakwood University. Graduated from Oakwood as an elementary major, and my minor was mathematics. After I left Oakwood, the Lord sent me to Baltimore Junior Academy, where I spent about 9 years. Later, my ministry brought me to Trinity Temple in 1980. I was the administrator there for about 5 years, and then in 85, I went to Boston, where I spent 2 years. Then the Lord brought me back to Trinity. I taught grades 7 and 8 for several years, and prior to my retirement, I was the principal from about 2002 until retirement in 2007.
A deeply spiritual leader, Sister Morgan would often encourage parents, teachers, and staff by saying, "Let the Lord lead," or "Let's pray about it." And whenever students weren't being attentive, silence is golden.
You know, the fact that I was in ministry for the Lord and that I knew I was witnessing for Him in all of the various schools, there was joy in just doing God's work. I really enjoyed the education ministry. The fact that I was able to influence so many young people. I felt the Lord used me to be an instrument. I felt I was a channel of blessing. Of course, there were challenges. There were so many things we needed, but in many occasions we couldn't purchase them because the funds were not there. Many individuals, many parents could not afford to pay their tuitions. However, the joy came when some individuals were able to step out in faith, and even though at the beginning of some school years they were not able to pay the initial tuition, before the end of the year the Lord made a way and they were able to pay the tuition. I was able to rejoice with many parents who were able to give God praise for blessing them to be able to take care of their children's tuition. I hope that I left each person with the impression that Jesus is the one to be emulated. I know that no man is an island, and nothing that I achieved could have been accomplished without a wonderful team. I've had a wonderful team of workers, very supportive teachers, very supportive parents. We've also had wonderful board members, and I would like to give appreciation to our board members and board chairpersons that were a very great assistance. And I cannot forget the students, because they are the ones that we were there for. We had wonderful students, and I hope that our influence as the educators and as the adults that were directing them, I hope that we faithfully fulfilled our responsibility. I also attempted to ensure that our faculty members were always aware of new strategies, so I would encourage workshops so they were able to bring new strategies in their educational settings, so that we did not only challenge those who were brilliant, we also tried to reach those students who are having their own challenges as far as their learning styles were concerned. But we tried to reach them where they were. Now that I've retired, there are several activities that I found that I didn't have time to do earlier. I'm taking time to do that now. One of the things that I needed to do was to visit the sick, and so I'm taking some time to do that. Also, I found myself not reading as much, so I'm doing some more reading, and also I'm doing some traveling. I had the privilege of traveling to Panama. That was a very enjoyable trip. Also, I took a cruise to Bermuda, and also I took some time to visit my homeland, Guyana. It was such a long time since I've been back there that some of the areas I couldn't even remember. Everything changed. And another thing that I probably will do is just do some more academic work. And I also enjoy prayer ministry with my prayer partners. I pray that God's blessings will attend not only my efforts, but the continued efforts of those who continue to support Trinity Temple Academy. I want to give honor to God for His countless blessings in my life. And one of the blessings is Trinity Temple Seventh-day Adventist Church. They've been a great support to the Academy. We know that this school is a part of this church. And there are so many members that have supported the school as far as fundraising and prayers and contributions and assisting students. I know of several individuals who took on the responsibility of supporting a child, even though they did not have children at Trinity. So I'm thankful for the support of the pastors and the elders and everyone at Trinity. And I pray that God will continue to bless Trinity Temple. May God bless you all.
This video was produced and narrated by Vern's Voice.